the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Ahead on the news at noon, the former spokesperson for the Loudoun County Public Schools is in court today for allegedly mishandling 2 sexual assault cases. We're breaking down what we learned. And later, Virginia residents are at the polls today to fill Senate and House seats. We're taking a look at the important races in our region and what Virginians can expect.
And storms and heavier downpours certainly brought a good amount of rainfall to parts of the viewing area, while others stayed totally dry. Do we have another opportunity for some rain this afternoon? We'll have a check of your forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Damon. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Happening right now, the former spokesperson for Loudoun County Public Schools is in court today, where Wade Byard is facing felony perjury charges. He's accused of lying while testifying to a grand jury last year. This all goes back to the mishandling of 2 sexual assaults that happened on different LCPS campuses. Both assaults took place in 2021, and Byard told a grand jury investigating the case he did not know about the first one until the second occurred. Well, that didn't make sense to prosecutors due to Byard letting parents know police were on campus the day of the first assault happened. That assault happened in a Stonebridge High School bathroom. The student involved has since been found guilty of forcible sodomy. And while that case was being investigated, the school administrators sent the student to Broad Run High School, where he assaulted another student. The grand jury also charged the former school superintendent following their investigation. Byard is pleading not guilty. We'll have more on this story coming up on DC News Now at 4. A community is in mourning after 2 teens were shot and killed on Father's Day. Police say that Kevin Mason and DeMarcos Pinckney were killed on Langston Place Southeast just before 9 o'clock Sunday evening. Now, the community knew them as future leaders, and they wanted to change their neighborhood for the better. Friends and family members say that Kevin as an entertainer and DeMarcus as a designer, known for making his own T-shirts.
I hear that these young men specifically were shot by a drive-by. The screams, like I couldn't take it.
And see that child mama get on her knees in the middle of that street, and she prayed, and I think as she was praying, her child's spirit was soaring.
Police are offering a $25,000 reward for information leading to an arrest for each murder. Meanwhile, crime is up nearly 30% in the district right now compared to last year. Homicides are up more than 15%. Violent crime sitting just over 20%, with DC data showing that motor vehicle thefts are up 20% as well. We're your local election headquarters in Virginia. Voters are heading to the polls today for the primary election. Our Randy Bass is in Arlington tracking some of the biggest races around Northern Virginia.
Yeah, lots of big races to keep your eye on today. Usually on primary election day, we're talking about lawmakers, but today there is a big focus on law enforcement. Commonwealth's attorneys races across Northern Virginia in the headlines today. Taking a closer look now, Fairfax, Loudoun, and Arlington counties, prosecutors there looking to hang on to their positions. Some of their critics are calling them too progressive, and other Democrats today are looking to unseat them after expressing frustrations with some of their decisions during their terms. The 2 incumbents in Fairfax and Loudoun County have each raised more than $500,000 so far in this race. In Prince William County, a big focus on multiple Board of Supervisors positions and the county chair. Those positions in the spotlight with the construction of data centers in the county causing controversy. And of course, you've got your state delegates and state Senate seats. All of those are up for grabs today during the primaries. As for what you need to know before you go across Virginia, the polls opened this morning at 6 a.m. and the polls will be open till 7 o'clock tonight. If you're not yet registered, you can register today and vote with a provisional ballot. If you're voting by mail, ballots must be postmarked by today, June 20th, and received by noon later this week on June 23rd. Make sure you stick here with DC News Now all day long as we continue our coverage of the primary election. In Arlington, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
All right, Randy, thank you. Well, the summer of the bear continues in the DMV. The latest sighting happening right in the heart of the Potomac River on Roosevelt Island, and officials closed the island to the public until the bear was removed this morning. We asked some locals what they thought about the latest sighting.
I think it definitely swam. And I think it came up the coastal line, you could say, here. I don't think he came over the highway.
I may end up jumping in the water if the bear's there. I don't know.
Well, Damon, another bear sighting in the region. I don't know if bears really care much about the weather unless it's winter time, but hopefully the bear was caught without incident and can be, released back into the wild.
I would agree with that, and I do think they care about the winter weather because obviously they hide from it, as many of us try to do when it gets colder out. But hey, in this warm weather, can't blame them for romping about. And it's been an interesting stretch of time here to begin the week. We are very warm, very muggy especially, and we're still talking about that rainfall from yesterday. Heavier downpours, those thunderstorms certainly brought some much needed rainfall to parts of the DMV. Look at that. We recorded close to 3 inches of rain in small pockets in the yellow there, especially across portions of Loudoun County, dropping south toward Culpeper as well. You see where most of those heavier downpours and storms really targeted yesterday. Now, other locations got a little bit of that rainfall, over an inch, parts of Frederick County, Washington County, across the eastern panhandle into western Maryland as well. But then when you went east, D.C., southern Maryland, did not really see much, if any, rain as those storms did stay off to the south and west as expected. But hey, don't fret. If you didn't get any rainfall yesterday, we're still not done with this storm system by any means. It's currently dry across the entire DMV. A lot of cloud cover, trying to break up that cloud cover a little bit right through the heart of the viewing area. But the low pressure causing all of this unsettled weather, well, it is still down to our south and west. We continue to be on the northern edge of this system, and thus we are going to continue to see rain chances even more so as we go over the next few days. This afternoon is going to trend on the drier side despite seeing a lot of cloud cover, but as we head toward the evening, isolated to scattered showers will start to become a lot more common. So does that mean we are going to see another round of steadier rainfall as that system gets closer heading into tomorrow and Thursday? We'll have a full check of your forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Well, starting today, some Metro riders will be able to ride for reduced fares as part of the new Metro Lift program. And people enrolled in SNAP benefits are also eligible to participate, and customers who enroll in the program will get 50% off any travel on Metro Rail or Metro Bus. Now, online enrollment will begin today, and in-person enrollment will start next Monday. And now, looking at how you can enroll today, you will need a Metro card for you and each member of your family, and you'll want to enroll in the program. Now, you will also need a SNAP EBT card and proof of your SNAP benefits, and you must show a current ID issued by the U.S., Maryland, D.C., or Virginia, and you will need to sign up with a phone number. Now, if you want to enroll online, you can do so at the Metro Lift website, and that's where you'll fill out an enrollment form, and any members of your family on SNAP benefits and discounts will be loaded onto your card within 2 days of enrolling. Well, construction on a new center for the deaf and hard of hearing community in Frederick, Maryland will begin later this year, and it will be the first of its kind in the state. The center will offer a space for community and to gather and provide resources like ASL classes. And one member of the Chamber of Commerce believes that this will improve diversity.
Having this one place, I think, is going to be that catalyst for, I think, an incredible expansion of opportunity. And we're seeing it in the Chamber. We're adding a whole bunch of members just because we bring an ASL interpreter to all our public events. And that's all it took.
Well, according to the governor's office, there are more than 1 million deaf or hard of hearing people in the state of Maryland, and it's set to be completed next year. The U.S. is leading a massive search and rescue mission to find a submersible with 5 people on board. The Coast Guard says that they are missing on a trip to document wreckage of the Titanic in a remote area of the Atlantic Ocean. The company OceanGate Expeditions released this statement saying, in part, quote, "Our entire focus is on the crew members and the submersible and their families, and we are deeply thankful for the extensive assistance that we have received from several government agencies and deep-sea companies in an effort to reestablish contact with them." Correspondent Jesse Tenor has more from Washington.
What we're focused on is finding those 5 people.
The U.S. Coast Guard is leading the search and rescue operations for a submersible that went missing on a trip to view the wreckage of the Titanic about 900 miles east of Cape Cod.
It is a challenge to conduct a search in that remote area.
Rear Admiral John Mauger says his crews, along with the National Guard, Canadian Coast Guard, and commercial ships, are looking on the surface and underwater for the sub. But the clock is ticking. Mauger estimates the passengers have up to 96 hours of oxygen, potentially giving rescuers until Friday to find them.
Making the best use of every moment of that time to locate the vessel.
A friend of one of the passengers, a renowned British adventurer, told News Nation, depending on what happened to the sub, they may be trapped.
There is no one who can reach them at the bottom, and this is terrifying.
Mauger says his team is working to bring in more underwater resources in the coming days.
Our crews take this personally. Our first thoughts are with the crew members and the families of those on board.
Well, new at noon, President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, will plead guilty to tax crimes. Biden had been under investigation for tax matters since 2018. He reached an agreement with prosecutors to most likely avoid time behind bars. Biden was charged with 2 counts of willful failure to pay income tax. A third charge stemmed from possession of a firearm in 2018, a weapon that he was in possession while using crack cocaine. Now, according to our partners at The Hill, Biden denied drug use when applying to secure the gun.